Weighed in this morning. Not good. I've gained weight. In fact, at this point, I only have a net loss of 2 pounds, which means my buddy Robert from church is whipping my tail. He told me this past Sunday he's lost 12 pounds already. I had lost about that, but I've gained it back. This is just real life for me. It doesn't take much for me to be able to put weight on. It actually takes a tremendous amount of effort for me to get weight off or keep weight off. I need a plan! I have to have some sort of solid, concrete plan. Remember all that stuff I told you before about making small changes and just adjusting little things? Forget I said anything. That doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. So that's it. We're going to extremes. Maybe not as extreme as I always have, because that does tend to bite me in the butt later on. But I do think that it's gonna take way more intentionality. It's gonna take actually having a very strict set of plans and then sticking to it. Now, how strict is kind of up for grabs, right? When I say strict, I mean just very specific, tight boundaries, okay? That's what I mean. I don't mean like don't eat anything and just have this severe caloric deficit that's impossible to maintain. That's not really what I mean by strict. I just mean having a very set plan and then sticking to it. I used to tell people before, you think about food as fuel. Yes, we can enjoy food. We should enjoy food. God has blessed us with an abundance of the earth that we can enjoy. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. We should be able to enjoy food. But we also have to recognize that food is primarily a fuel source. You know, you think about a dog eats the same thing at the same time of day, every single day, and never seems to complain. And they do just fine, right? Sure, they want some table scraps every now and then, but they're able to survive on just the fuel that they need. So going back to this idea of food is primarily fuel, why am I having such a hard time saying that today? Food is primarily fuel. There we go. I'm gonna start just really kind of narrowing some things down and ruling some things out. So, those of you that care, hear specifically what I'm going to do. I've always thought that intermittent fasting was a fascinating subject to study and research anyway. And I've found that it's worked quite well for me in the past, and it's worked well for clients that I've trained. And part of the reason that it's worked so well for me in the past, and for other people that I've trained, is because if you're not a breakfast eater, right, it's really easy to do intermittent fasting. What I think fits well for most people and is certainly sustainable for me is a 16-8 split. So that means 16 hours of the day you're fasting. You're not eating during that time. 8 hours of the day you actually eat. I'll tell you this, there was a time when I was first trying to figure some things out for myself, when I was just going through some trial and error. I did the whole eat 6 meals a day thing, right? You remember that? Eat 6 small meals a day because it keeps your metabolism boosted, blah, 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 blah. Well, I can't say that that didn't work for me. It did. But that's really hard, having 6 small little meals a day and all the meal prep and everything that goes on. It's hard to do, and it's not necessary. There's different strokes for different folks. And for this guy, the 16-hour fast works well for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing. In addition to that, I'm going to be primarily focused on getting proteins and healthy fats. And, you know, somebody's going to say, oh, the low carb thing doesn't work. Whatever. Yes, it does. I need to lose weight. My body doesn't like carbs, okay? Well, I like carbs. My taste buds like carbs. But my body does better when I'm not eating anywhere near as many carbs as I would normally eat. Not only does it help me lose weight, it makes me feel better. So you can tell me all day long about how, oh, you don't have to cut out carbs and that's not healthy, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I feel like a lion when I wake up in the morning, when I don't have a lot of carbs in my system. I do very well with a high protein, low to moderate fat diet. So there you go. That's 2 out of 3 for the plan, okay? Intermittent fasting 16 hours a day, only eating for 8. And then the next thing is a high protein, moderate to low fat, very low carb diet. And the last thing is weight training. But before I get to that, let me mention one other thing I forgot to say about the intermittent fasting thing, right? Here's why the 16-8 fast works so well for me and lots of people who have tried it. And it may work for you. If part of the reason that you're here and keeping up with this channel is to kind of get some idea of what you can be doing yourself, this might be a really good tip for you. 8 of those 16 hours, I'm sleeping. Well, not really 8. I usually sleep 6.5 to 7 hours, and I know I should get more sleep. I'll work on it. But during that time that I'm sleeping, that time counts, right? So we eat dinner early because we have small children. So by 7 o'clock at night, I'm done. I'm done eating. And I'm not like a late night snacker anyway, so this is not hard for me, okay? After 7 o'clock, I don't eat again until the next day at 11 a.m. That's my window. That's my fasting window. So for half of it, I'm asleep anyway, right? And then all I gotta do is wait till 11 o'clock in the morning before I have lunch, right? I could stretch it an hour, like if I have a lunch appointment that day and it's not till 12 or 12:30, I'll just wait until lunchtime and eat. It's as easy as that. And then again, by 7 o'clock at night, dinner's done, no more eating the rest of the day until the following morning at 11 a.m. Anyway, I digress. I just thought that would be helpful for those of you that were wondering how that whole thing works and thought 16 hours without eating sounds crazy. It's not. Half the time I'm asleep anyway. So weight training, that's the third thing. Muscle actually helps you burn fat. It costs calories to work the muscle. It costs your body calories to repair the muscle in that recovery in the days after the work, right? And it costs your body calories to maintain muscle. This is something we call calorie partitioning, right? So if you have more muscle on your body, right, and you're working that muscle continually, you're in the habit of keeping that muscle up, you're challenging those muscles on a regular basis, then the calories that you eat, some of those calories have to go to repairing those muscles, and they can't be stored as fat. You see what I mean? So not only are you burning more calories during the exercise, you're burning more calories because you've put a demand on your body in a repair mode, right? It takes energy to repair muscle, but it also has this afterburn effect beyond the repair mode where just having the muscle in the first place and keeping it challenged on a frequent basis costs your body calories and they cannot be stored as fat. So I have to do some weight training. Now what's cool is I got into this, I got a really great deal on this course that's helping me with my videos, some of the stuff that I'm doing for the social guy, the little side gig that I've started to be able to help some small local businesses create some, really good video ads and promotions for their businesses. I'm trying to work on that a little bit, and the only time that I really have to do that is when I'm on the treadmill. So it's kind of a one-for-one. It's given me an excuse to get up and get on the treadmill, and then I'm learning my craft while I'm doing that. Just kind of 2 birds, 1 stone sort of thing. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. I need the treadmill for the frequency of it, just the staying moving aspect of it, above and beyond everything else. Like that is something that has irrefutable health benefits long-term for any individual. And so that's part of the reason I want to do that. I want to get in the habit of it. You see what I'm saying? The weight training, though, is where a lot of the results are going to happen. So let me tell you how that's going to look. I'm working with 2 guys now in my garage, Ness, who I've shown you a video of before, and Mondo, who has just joined us. And they have 2 very different goals, right? Mondo's trying to lose weight, and Ness is trying to get big and strong. But we're still doing the same kinds of things, just differently. Now for me to be able to squeeze in with these 2 guys, it's gonna be a little tricky, but for me what I'm gonna need is volume. I have a pretty good foundation of strength. I'm not just trying to get stronger, and I'm not really trying to get bigger and build more muscle mass necessarily. So what's gonna be helpful for me is to have moderate weights and do more volume, right? So more reps and sets. So I'll be working with these 2 guys and jumping in on their sets with their lighter loads, because I can lift heavier than them, but I'll probably just jump in and do more sets and more reps of whatever weights they're working with to make it work, right? And so I'll be doing that twice a week. The other thing I want to get back into is my kettlebells. Man, is it gonna send me to the moon in my first couple times of doing that. You swing a kettlebell, like the right size kettlebell, a good 25 times and you're gonna be sucking wind. But I trust that doing that just for a few weeks is gonna make a big difference. All right, so I don't want this video to get too long. Here's my promise to you. I'm going to be doing all of this stuff. I was already on the treadmill this morning, doing my little, filmmaking course thing, trying to learn how to use my tools better, my camera, my editing software, so I can sharpen up some of those things for my clients. And getting in the habit of just making that an appointment with myself every morning to get on the treadmill and do that for at least 30 minutes. The weight training is about to start coming back in on Friday. Going way stricter on the diet, the intermittent fasting, staying high protein, low to moderate fat, super low carb. And here's my promise to you. By October 15th, I will have lost these 10 pounds. Okay? Let's see how that works. Kind of rolling the dice on that. I feel kind of confident, a little unsure maybe. Not as young as I once was. I might not be able to do this as quickly as I thought, but that is what I have to have a goal. Right? That's what I said in the beginning. I have to have a plan. So here's my plan. I got to have something small to aim at. It's one thing to be able to say, I want to get down to like 225 by my next birthday, right? But what I've forgotten is I need some small little milestone goals along the way. I can't just feel my way through it. I thought I could. I was wrong, okay? Don't listen to any of that stuff I said before. It's probably not going to work for you. Sometimes we need some really tight little boundaries and get ourselves in gear. So there's my short little milestone, my 3-pronged plan, and my short-term goal of losing these 10 pounds that I've gained by October 15th. So there we go. Check it out when I post my next video. We'll see what the progress looks like. And by October 15th, I hope to have these 10 pounds lost.